Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today, I come to you with a message that can transform your life and awaken your spirit to a greater reality. Imagine a unique place, a land not simply on a map, but in the depths of your soul, a sacred space perfectly in harmony with your inner light. This land is the destination that Allah has chosen for you. His chosen one. Yes, you heard correctly. Allah is leading you to a place, a spiritual reality, that corresponds exactly to the greatness and purity of your spirit. This path you are following, even if it sometimes seems winding or uncertain, is guided by a divine wisdom that surpasses all human understanding. Perhaps you feel an inner tugging, a thirst for meaning, a deep desire to belong to something greater. This is no accident. Allah, in His infinite mercy, has inscribed within you this quest, this light that calls you to your spiritual home. But this journey is not a simple physical displacement. It is an elevation of your spirit, an inner transformation where each step brings you closer to your true nature. You are called to discover this land where peace, serenity, and the clarity of faith reign. As the chosen one, you are not alone. This divine guidance is a promise Allah has made to you, a silent pact between Him and your soul. Sometimes you may doubt, you may feel lost in the face of daily trials or uncertainties. Yet, even in these moments, Allah traces the path for you, invisible but sure. What you are experiencing today is a preparation, a necessary step so that you can fully embrace this blessed land. It is like a journey to a sacred destination where each difficulty purifies you and each trial strengthens you. What I propose to you today is to stay with me until the end of this video, because I will make a special prayer for you, an invocation so that Allah illuminates your path and gently brings you to this land that corresponds to your spirit. I want you to know that this journey, as invisible as it may be, is already underway. Your transformation begins now, in every breath, in every thought turned towards the light. So, open your heart, let yourself be carried by this divine promise, and prepare yourself to discover how Allah guides you, step by step, towards your spiritual land, this place of peace and fulfillment where your spirit will finally find its place. Never lose hope, because the chosen one is the one who stands firm, who keeps the faith even when the path seems obscure. You are about to understand a powerful truth. The land that matches your spirit is within your grasp, and Allah in His wisdom is leading you to it with love and patience. It is not a distant destination, it is an inner reality awaiting you. And today, I will accompany you so that you may fully grasp it. Allah's guidance is not limited to external advice, but is a light that illuminates your mind, even in the darkest moments. You can feel this gentle yet powerful presence, inspiring, protecting, and guiding you. It is this inner strength that drives you forward, even when everything seems uncertain. The chosen one knows that every difficulty is a stepping stone, every obstacle a lesson. On this journey, your relationship with Allah becomes the foundation upon which everything rests. It is through prayer, dhikr, and the reading of the Quran that you nourish this connection. The more you open yourself to this relationship, the clearer your vision becomes, and the more clearly the spiritual land to which you are being led becomes apparent. You learn to recognize the signs, to listen to the whispers of the soul, to discern truth from falsehood. It is also important to understand that this election is not a favor to elevate oneself above others, but an immense responsibility. Being elected means carrying within oneself the light to guide and inspire, to bear witness to the greatness of Allah through one's actions and conduct. It is a call to wisdom, patience, and kindness. You may sometimes feel a pull between what the world offers you and what your spirit aspires to achieve. This duality is natural, but it is also an invitation to consciously choose your path. The land that corresponds to your spirit is only accessible through this fidelity to your divine vocation, the spiritual discipline that makes you grow every day. Thus, the spiritual connection of the chosen one is a continuous dialogue between the soul and Allah, an exchange of love, trust, and guidance. It is this relationship that gradually leads you to the promised land, this place of peace and light, where your spirit can finally flourish fully. Imagine this earth as a secret garden, cultivated by Allah Himself in your heart. Every seed planted is a virtue, every flower a blessing. This earth is nourished by patience, hope, and constancy in prayer and meditation. The more you advance in your relationship with Allah, the more this garden grows, blossoms, and becomes a refuge where your spirit finds rest and strength. It is in this state of mind that you can truly hear Allah's guidance, understand His signs, and receive His blessings. The spiritual ground is that place where doubts fade, fear disappears, and the light of faith shines brightly. It is also the place where your mind is in perfect harmony with God's commandments, a place of wisdom and serenity. To reach it, it is not enough to wish for it or passively hope for it. This land is reached through deep inner work, purifying one's intentions, distancing oneself from the distractions of the world, and nourishing one's soul with the Quran, prayer, and dhikr. It is a path of transformation where each step is a victory over the weaknesses and temptations that distance one from the light. Allah promises His chosen ones this land because it corresponds to their spiritual state. The higher your faith, the more worthy you become of receiving this blessing. It is not an automatic gift, but a deserved reward, earned through perseverance, sincerity, and submission. This land is a symbol of spiritual achievement, a place where the soul is free, strong, and at peace. Sometimes, in moments of prayer or meditation, you may feel a foretaste of this earth, a profound peace that invades your being, a light that dispels the inner darkness. These experiences are glimpses of what Allah has in store for you, confirmations that you are on the right path. They strengthen your determination to continue this spiritual journey, even when the road seems long. This spiritual ground is also a refuge from the trials of the world. When everything around you seems uncertain, it is in this inner ground that you can find solid shelter. It gives you the strength to face difficulties with confidence, for it is the promise of constant guidance and unwavering divine love. Finally, this earth is a place of fulfillment where your spirit can fully express its potential, free from the shackles of doubt and fear. It is the fulfillment of God's promise, that of a mind at peace, enlightened by the wisdom of Allah, and ready to accomplish the mission for which you were chosen. The road to this spiritual land, however luminous, is never without trials. On the contrary, these challenges are an essential part of the journey. Allah, in His infinite wisdom, uses difficulties not to punish you, but to purify you, to prepare your heart and mind to fully embrace the peace and light He has reserved for you. These trials are like the fire that refines gold. They burn away impurities and allow purity to shine forth. Often, when faced with these challenges, you may feel pain, discouragement, and fear. But know that every difficulty carries hidden wisdom. It is a test, a means by which Allah measures your patience, trust, and sincerity. The Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, said that patience is the key to deliverance. By holding firm, even in the darkest moments, you are getting closer to that promised land. Trials can take many forms: loss, misunderstandings, conflicts, or simply that feeling of emptiness and loneliness. They are sometimes invisible to others, but very real in your heart. They are invitations to turn to Allah, to strengthen your faith, and to purify yourself of that which distances you from Him. It is in this inner struggle that your true strength is revealed. Trust in Allah is your shield in these difficult times. Always remember that He does not place a trial on His servants without a favorable outcome. This outcome is deliverance. It is the promise that the land to which He is leading you will be a refuge where these pains will turn into blessings. Faith in this promise is what sustains you when the path seems dark. By going through these challenges, you develop precious qualities: resilience, patience, humility, and gratitude. These virtues are the solid foundations of your spiritual edifice. They prepare you to fully inhabit the land that corresponds to your spirit, because this land can only accommodate a pure heart and a strong spirit. It is important not to feel isolated during these times. The community of believers, fraternal support, and collective prayer are sources of strength. Allah created the Ummah so that everyone can lean on one another. Don't close your heart to others. Share your trials and find refuge in solidarity and sharing. Don't let trials extinguish your inner light. Instead, use them as a lever to grow, to draw closer to Allah, to purify your intention. Each day of endurance is one step closer to the promised land. Each tear shed with faith is a sign that you are on the path to deliver. Remember that even the greatest prophets endured intense trials before reaching their spiritual peak. Their example is an inspiration and a reminder that suffering is never in vain when endured with faith. Thus, trials are not insurmountable obstacles, but necessary steps on the divine path. They refine your mind, purify your heart, and prepare you to fully receive Allah's blessing, which leads you to the land of peace and spiritual fulfillment. Throughout your journey to this land that corresponds to your spirit, Allah continues to send you signs. These signs, sometimes subtle, sometimes obvious, are all divine messages intended to strengthen your faith, to confirm that you are on the right path, and to encourage you not to falter. Learning to recognize these signs of His guidance is essential to moving forward with confidence. Sometimes these signs take the form of a sudden inner peace, a serenity that envelops your heart as external storms rage. This tranquility is a gift from Allah, a reminder that He is near and that His plan for you is in motion. When you feel this peace, know that it is an encouragement to continue, a silent confirmation that you are progressing on the right path. Other signs can be external events, such as providential encounters, unexpected opportunities, or moments of clarity that dispel doubts. These moments are never the result of chance. They are orchestrated by Allah to guide you, to open the doors that will lead you to your spiritual home. Learn to welcome them with gratitude and humility. Reading the Quran and meditating on its verses are also powerful sources of signs and guidance. Sometimes, a particular verse resonates deeply within you, answers a question you have, or sheds light on a difficult situation. This dialogue with the Holy Book is a direct form of divine communication that illuminates your path and strengthens your connection to Allah. Intuition, that deep and accurate feeling, is another tool Allah uses to guide you. That inner whisper, that silent voice that prompts you to make a decision, avoid danger, or seize an opportunity, is often a reflection of divine wisdom. Learn to listen to this voice, to trust it, for it is the manifestation of Allah's guidance in your mind. It is also important to pay attention to the advice of the scholars and pious people around you. Their wisdom, based on knowledge and spiritual experience, can help you interpret signs and make informed decisions. Allah uses these beings as instruments to guide you on your path. In all of this, prayer remains the essential key. It is by sincerely addressing Allah that you can seek the clarity, light, and confirmation you need. Prayer opens the doors of guidance and puts you in direct contact with the Creator, who knows perfectly what is best for you. Stay vigilant and don't let discouragement overwhelm you when the signs seem absent or unclear. Sometimes Allah tests your patience, your faith, by delaying His response. But remember that even in silence, He is acting, preparing the ideal conditions for your deliverance to be perfect and lasting. Recognizing signs is therefore an act of faith and wisdom. It allows you to enter into harmony with Allah's will, to adjust your path when necessary, and to strengthen your confidence in God's promise. Each sign is a glimmer of light on your path, a reminder that you are never abandoned. By keeping your heart open, your faith intact, and your mind attentive, you will move forward with confidence toward the spiritual land that awaits you. Be patient, be steadfast, and allow yourself to be carried by the infinite guidance of Allah, for He is the best of guides. Allah's guidance does not stop at simply receiving signs or spiritual understanding. It also calls you to action, to embody this light and wisdom in your daily life. The chosen one is not a passive spectator, but a committed actor who walks with determination on the path traced by the Creator. Only by combining faith and action can the promised transformation be fully realized. Acting in accordance with the divine guidance means, above all, demonstrating total sincerity in each of your decisions. Every gesture, every word, every thought must reflect this deep desire to please Allah and to walk in His commandments. It is an invitation to purify your intentions, to distance yourself from all forms of selfishness or pride, and to adopt a posture of humility and devotion. Regular prayer, fasting, diligent recitation of the Quran, and dhikr are fundamental acts that nourish your spirit and constantly connect you to Allah. But beyond rituals, it's about living Islam as a light that illuminates all your actions, whether in your family, your community, or your work. This consistency between faith and behavior is the hallmark of the truly chosen one. By doing this, you are actively participating in building your spiritual foundation. Every good deed is a stone placed on this sacred soil. Every sincere effort makes this inner garden grow. Even the smallest gestures of kindness, patience, or generosity are of immense value in the eyes of Allah and contribute to your spiritual growth. It is also essential to remain vigilant against the temptations and distractions of the world. The chosen one must learn to say no to anything that leads one away from the divine path, whether it be bad habits, toxic relationships, or negative influences. This discipline is an act of love for oneself and for Allah, who wishes to preserve you for what is best. Perseverance is the key to this journey. Sometimes fatigue, doubts, or obstacles may tempt you to give up. But remember that steadfastness, even in difficult times, is a sign of true faith. Allah always rewards those who remain steadfast and continue to move forward with patience and confidence. In addition to personal discipline, the chosen one is called to be a living example for others. Your spiritual transformation, your inner light, can inspire and guide those around you. Therefore, be a vector of peace, justice, and compassion, embodying the values you wish to see spread around you. Remember that you are never alone on this path. Allah is always present to accompany you, support you, and enlighten you. By maintaining a constant dialogue with Him through prayer and meditation, you ensure that every step you take is in accordance with His will. Thus, acting in accordance with divine guidance is a total commitment, a life choice that transforms not only your mind, but also your reality. It is the key that will allow you to fully inhabit the spiritual land that Allah has promised you, a place of peace, light, and fulfillment. As we come to the end of this spiritual journey, it is essential to hold in your heart the deep conviction that the land to which Allah is leading you is real, palpable in the soul, ready to welcome you in all your light. You are the chosen one, the one who, despite challenges and doubts, has stood firm and nurtured his faith with perseverance. This land is not a mere dream, it is a divine promise, a gift that reveals itself to those who sincerely rely on Allah. Remember that every trial you have faced, every moment of doubt or loneliness, was only one step closer to that inner peace, to that spiritual clarity that now illuminates your path. Allah has never abandoned you, and even in silence, He was preparing for you this sacred place where your spirit can finally flourish fully. You are on the threshold of this blessed land, and it is the fruit of your faith, your patience, and your commitment. The chosen one is not a perfect being, but a servant who, despite his imperfections, chooses each day to turn to Allah with sincerity. It is this sincerity that brings you closer to Him, this humility that opens the door to His mercy. Continue to move forward with confidence, knowing that every step you take is accompanied, guided, and blessed by the Creator. Before concluding this video, I would like to accompany you in a deep prayer, an invocation to seal this moment and ask Allah to perfect this miracle, this spiritual transformation in you. O Allah, You who are the supreme guide, the wise and the merciful, we praise You and thank You for Your light that illuminates our paths. We ask You on this blessed day to complete in Your servant the transformation that You have begun. Strengthen his faith, purify his heart, and lead him to the land that corresponds to his spirit. Ya Rab, grant him patience in the face of trials, wisdom to recognize Your signs, and the strength to act according to Your guidance. Fill his soul with Your infinite peace. Remove from him all fear and doubt and open to him the doors of Your mercy. O You who transform darkness into light, make this servant walk ever closer to You. May he be a living witness of Your love and Your greatness. Protect him from the pitfalls of this world. Guide him on the straight path and let him taste the sweetness of Your paradise here below and in the hereafter. Ameen. Always remember that you are blessed, chosen, and loved by Allah. This miracle within you is living proof of His mercy and greatness. Continue to move forward with faith, courage, and the certainty that your spiritual home awaits you, full of peace, light, and fulfillment. Thank you for watching this video to the end. May the peace, mercy, and blessings of Allah be upon you today and always. Don't forget to share this post, subscribe, and come back for more soul-nourishing words.